Right, let's open Training Peaks and have a look at the plan for the day. So Saturday today, we've got a ride, 2.5 hours, aerobic ride to include 10-second max sprints. So that's basically just riding aerobically for 2.5 hours, but there's 10 full out sprints in there for about 10 seconds. So this is a good session for me because it's working on something that I'm really good at, which is my aerobic riding, but also something that I'm not really good at, which is my sprinting. So good session today and I'll be looking forward to that. So now I want to start thinking about planning my nutrition for the day. So I want to find the last time I'd done that session and see what the calories were like. I think I'd done that. I'd done it then, but the heart rate wasn't working that day, but I'd done it before that. Let's see, there we go. 230 aerobic ride to include 10 max sprints. Calories, 1486. So I'll plan for about 1500 calories then, and I'll factor my nutrition in, assuming that I'm going to burn 1500 calories. So the nutritional plan and strategy today is going to be back to normal, high carb, because the session that I'm doing today is 2.5 hours and I'll be going quite hard, just really trying to get to the upper end of the zone 2, which I'm doing. Then there's also 10 sprints in there as well. So I need to really make sure that I'm getting a lot of carbs a day and fueling that session properly. Yesterday was a low carb ride. That's something that I've done for the first time yesterday, just to experiment with. Been reading and learning a lot recently about, people who are doing low carb training and low carb rides on light recovery days and easier days in the bike to get the body better at burning fat for fuel rather than carbs all the time, making you more fat adapted. So that went really well yesterday and I was really positively surprised by how well I handled that session, even though I only had some protein in the morning. So I was really pleased with that. But the session today I'll be going a lot harder, so I'm just going to have the normal porridge breakfast and get a lot of carbs in there and fuel the session. So that's breakfast done. Now just updating my spreadsheets for yesterday. So yesterday was a low carb day. Omelette, cashews, apples, coconut, sultanas, boodles, chicken, homemade pesto, protein and cashew butter. So that's a really low carb day for the low carb ride and I'm really pleased with how that went. And I'm keen to keep doing that on my lighter recovery days. Something really interesting that I've noticed as well. So I've now done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 days in a row where my calories have been round about maintenance, burning whatever I've eaten, what I've burned that day, except that day was 400 above, so it's kind of in the ballpark. That's actually the first time in my life that that's ever happened, that I've ever went 7 days without having like a massive refeed or a massive junk binge or anything like that. So that's just incredible progress. I'm so happy with that. And it's really cool to see as well that, the weight is corresponding to that. So, that's 8 days in a row now where I've been really on point in my diet. There's only one day that was 400 calories more than I burned, which is, that's fine. That's not a big deal. I'm trying to hit around maintenance anyway. So, there's the weight. It's just been coming gradually down and down. And we're now down at 153.2, 69.4 kilos, which is the lowest it's been. So kind of been down under at 160 for a good few weeks now. The last time it was 160 was almost 3 weeks ago, so I'm really pleased with that. Nutrition's going well and we're seeing the results in the body and the body fat and the weight as well, which is really important for my cycling. And there we've just added the weight into Training Peaks as well, 153.2, so that's the lowest it's ever been in Training Peaks, so that's a really big milestone as well. I don't think I would race any lower than 68 kilos, maybe 67 at a push. Who knows, we'll just need to test that over the years. But to be down at 69, potentially 2, 3, 4 months away for racing starting, that's just an incredible place to be. And it's just absolute testament to the dedication and the commitment that I've been putting in this year. Right, a couple hours since breakfast. I've just finished editing yesterday's video, so now time to go out and train. Let's do it. Right, time to go train. This is it. Saturday, baby. 2.5 hours aerobic ride with 10 sprints in there as well. Looking forward to it. Here's my on the bike nutrition today. 2 bottles of All Sports Nutrition's winter training formula, which I love. And so there's 200 grams in there, so that'll give me about 12 grams of protein each hour and about 80 grams of carbs, which will keep me really fueled because I'm going to be upper end of the aerobic today. Going to really go on for it, and then some really big effort sprints as well. recovery drink and protein shake.
Right, so I've just burned 2,154 calories there, 150 average heart rate. So I now know how many calories I've burned a day, so I can confirm my nutrition and then make sure that I'm not going over what I need to be. So that means that I'll be eating about 4,100 calories a day. Now I know definitely what I've burned, and so I'm just going to make sure my food choices correlate with that.